Enzo Maresca has left Chelsea this afternoon. Nizaar Kinsella covers Chelsea for BBC Sport. And we will start, Nizaar, by trying to understand who made this decision, because the statement says parted company. So who drove this, the Chelsea board or Maresca himself?
Right, yeah, Chappers, it's suitably vague, isn't it, the language in the statement? So I'll try and bring some clarity to it. It's absolutely right to say that Enzo Maresca, he certainly accelerated it and his position became untenable because he wasn't really feeling that he was getting on with the hierarchy at Chelsea Football Club. So really it was driven by him. It was driven in that sort of way that it was like mid-season. He was the one who pushed for it to be sort of mid-season, and Chelsea weren't totally happy with him either. We must say that, because certainly he was under pressure to improve results, and I think they would have preferred an end-of-season change, but it's ended up a mid-season change really because it became untenable.
There have been suggestions, Nizaar, as well, that one of the problems here was that there were interferences in team selection and substitutions, and that Maresca wasn't having that. Where are you with that? Did the Chelsea board feel like they had a right to interfere in those kind of things?
Well, I think let's firstly say what Chelsea is. The club makes the big decisions. This is a club with 5 sporting directors and a very influential owner who's very hands-on. So the manager is probably the 6th or 7th most important person at the club. So that's what it is at Chelsea. But they say that they're not influencing those decisions in terms of you've got to pick him in this game to win the game. It's more medical, that kind of thing. Like they weren't happy with how Enzo Maresca was pushing players back, who'd just come back from injury, maybe playing too many minutes. So it just shows you that there's a lot of disagreement here. Now, Enzo Maresca would probably disagree with that as well, and he'd say he was being pressured to make changes, rotate, things like that. So those are the sort of stories we're getting out of the camps, out of the 2 camps now that have become totally divided.
This ownership will now be moving on to their 5th manager since they took over. Is there still a belief that this project is being run the right way?
Well, I think Enzo Maresca doesn't believe in it, does he? And Mauricio Pochettino similarly sort of ended his tenure here, having not totally agreed with the ownership's direction. But if you actually talk to people at Chelsea, they would say that they want to win. They have the youngest squad in the Premier League. I mean, it was very fitting that Maresca picked the youngest team in the Premier League this season with his last 11 against Bournemouth. But they still think they can win, even with that, absolutely. And they think that they'll get gradually better and better and better. And they are looking for stability, but they just haven't found it.
The main name in the running to take over is Liam Rosenior, who is within the same football group.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely the front runner to become the next Chelsea manager. The Strasbourg project's very similar to Chelsea, so I went over there to France and saw what they're doing, and they've got the youngest team in the Big 5 leagues, so it's very similar to Chelsea. And yeah, he's working very well with the ownership. He's very highly regarded and things like that. But of course, he's quite inexperienced. He's never managed in the Premier League, has he? So it absolutely would be a big step up if he came to Chelsea to replace Enzo Maresca.
But very quickly, it seems like there's no other people really being mentioned in the running.
Well, Chelsea do say there's others, but it just feels like there's such a firm front runner, and also it's so difficult to appoint someone mid-season, right? So it's easier to hire somebody from a club you already own and give him an opportunity at another club you own, isn't it? So it kind of makes Liam Rosenior the obvious choice.